me great pleasure, even at the long distance separating the national capital from the nation's metropolis, to take part in the opening ceremony of the electrical exposition whose managers have paid me the high compliment of requesting me to say a few words of welcome. To say that I am delighted to see you tonight is just as expressive as the greeting of my old-time friends, the blind preachers.
The great fundamental issue now before our people can be stated briefly. It is, are the American people fit to govern themselves, to rule themselves, to control themselves? I believe they are. My opponents do not. I believe in the right of the people to rule. I believe that the majority of the plain people of the United States will, day in and day out, make fewer mistakes in governing themselves than any smaller class or body of men, no matter what their training, will make in trying to govern them. I believe again that the American people are, as a whole, capable of self-control and of learning by their mistakes.
The country needs every ounce of its energy to restore itself. The costs of government are all assessed upon the people. This means that the farmer is doomed to provide a certain amount of money out of the sale of his produce, no matter how low the price, to pay his taxes. The manufacturer, the professional man.
My official duty at the present time to keep in touch with the most active Prime Minister has not only given me an undeserved reputation for activity, but the invaluable opportunity to see this great country of Scotland as it is, a country whose history is familiar to every American schoolboy, and whose traditions are a heritage to the world.
Mr. President, in the name of the President of the United States, I proclaim open the Olympic Games of Los Angeles, celebrating the 10th Olympiad of the modern era.
The oath provided in the Constitution is all anyone who desires to serve his country need make to assume his office. That oath provides that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties of your office. That I hope to do. And that's the only promise I have to make.
I have spoken of the American century. I say that the century on which we are entering, the century which will come out of this war, can be and must be the century of the common man. If we really believe we are fighting for a people's peace, all the rest becomes easy.
A short time ago, an American airplane dropped one bomb on Hiroshima and destroyed its usefulness to the enemy. That bomb has more power than 20,000 tons of TNT. The Japanese began the war from the air at Pearl Harbor. They have been repaid many-fold, and the end is not yet.
The Republican nominee has announced with characteristic finality that he proposes to sweep from the government at Washington the cobwebs as he swept them from Albany following long tenure of Democratic administration. I am not an expert in cobwebs, but if my memory does not betray me, when the Democratic Party took over the government 16 years ago,
a man down in Texas heard Pat on the radio mention the fact that our two youngsters would like to have a dog. And believe it or not, the day before we left on this campaign trip, we got a message from the Union Station in Baltimore saying they had a package for us. We went down to get it. You know what it was? It was a little Cocker Spaniel dog in a crate that he sent all the way from Texas. Black and white, spotted. And our little girl, Tricia, the 6-year-old, named it Check.
An assassin's bullet has thrust upon me the awesome burden of the presidency. I'm here today to say I need your help. I cannot bear this burden alone. I need the help of all Americans in all America.
I'm not interested in going out running for the presidency unless somebody wants me to do so. I'm happy to tell you that when I look at the polls, even after I have been doing less than nothing, I see that we still are able to defeat President Ford. I see that in a head-on with Carter Humphrey, I have a higher percentage amongst Democrats. I'm very much alive, let's put it that way.
The purpose of my remarks tonight is to focus your attention on this little group of men who not only enjoy a right of instant rebuttal to every presidential address, but more importantly, wield a free hand in selecting, presenting, and interpreting the great issues in our nation.
We can see forward only dimly, 1 year, 5 years, a generation perhaps. Like our forefathers, we know that if we meet the challenges of our own time with a common sense of purpose and conviction, if we remain true to our Constitution and to our ideals, then we can know that the future will be better than the past.
As I stand before you, I feel a great sense of humility. I feel a great sense of gratitude for the privilege of serving the country I love. I feel a deep sense of gratitude to President Ford, to the Congress of the United States, and to the people of America.
He will need all of us, regardless of political party. He needs the help of every American, and I know that he will have it in the great task that's ahead. I want to just thank everyone for their help, for their kindness, for their understanding, and for their love. There are so many in this nation that have helped make this victory possible.
Says he'll raise them as a last resort or a third resort, but when a politician talks like that, you know that's one resort he'll be checking into. And my opponent won't rule out raising taxes, but I will, and the Congress will push me to raise taxes, and I'll say no, and they'll push, and I'll say no, and they'll push again, and I'll say to them, read my lips.
To communicate and to lead. It is not just age, it's accomplishments, it's experience. I have far more experience than many others that sought the office of Vice President of this country. I have as much experience in the Congress as Jack Kennedy did when he sought the presidency. I will be prepared to deal with the people in the Bush administration if that unfortunate event would ever occur.
Last month, right here in this place, I announced that the first 6 months of the year, January through June, each set new records for high global temperatures. That means in the 118 years since we began keeping modern, reliable records, last January was the warmest January. Last February was the warmest February. Last March was the warmest March in history. Last April was the hottest April. Last May was the hottest May. And last June was the hottest June. That came right on the heels of 1997, which was the warmest year on record.
We're fighting a war on terror because the enemy attacked us first and hit us hard. Scarcely 50 miles from this place, we saw thousands of our fellow citizens murdered and 16 acres of a great city turned to ashes. Others were killed within view of the White House, at the headquarters of our military at the Pentagon. Many heroes emerged that day, both on board an aircraft over Pennsylvania and among the rescue teams, and they too died in the hundreds. These are events we can never forget, and they are scenes the enemy would like to see played out in this country over and over again on a larger and larger scale.
I'm Vice President Joe Biden. We all know our economy is in crisis. A lot of people have been hurt by the mortgage crisis, the Wall Street slump, the loss of millions of jobs, but the middle class has been hit particularly hard. President Obama and I, and in fact our whole administration, are hard at work to put us back in the path of recovery. And the middle class, the economic engine of this nation, must be healthy in order for us to succeed. Quite simply, a strong middle class equals a strong America. We can't have one without the other. But in the last economic expansion, the middle class got left behind. This time, we can't let that happen.
I, Michael Richard Pence, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That
I, Kamala Davy Harris, do solemnly swear.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That
I, James David Vance, do solemnly swear.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.